What's up, nerds? We are your hosts. I am Jake.
And I'm Chad.
This week we are sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks.
We are also sponsored by Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce.
We're going to be talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, now in theaters.
And then we're also going to talk about the season 3 finale of The Witcher on Netflix.
Meg. Meg.
So let's get into it.
Meg.
This is the All Things Nerd podcast. Nerd.
Welcome back, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Chadley, Chatter. How was your week?
My week was...
That's great, Chad.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what happened. Didn't do a whole lot. I mean, went and saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with you over the weekend. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it was just a pretty standard week. What about you?
My week was I don't know if it was better. It was more eventful. My lawnmower burst into flames the other day, so that was a good time. So I have to buy a new lawnmower, which is a sweet and sour kind of thing, because I don't have the money for it, but I have been wanting a riding lawnmower for a while. So now I can justify spending the money on it.
Woo!
Other than that, I did go see the Ninja Turtles movie with you and Nicole. The three of us went together. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
It was weird that you
about...
insisted that I sat in the middle, though. I don't know why that was.
That didn't happen.
I know it didn't.
Speaking of Nicole, we are, as of Tuesday, 34 weeks pregnant, and I'm starting to show. Our son, Cal, is going to be here in fucking no time. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, for me, I guess that's all I got for this week.
Right on.
Oh, wait, did have something else. What was it? I already forgot.
Pickles.
Pickles! I made pickles. Nicole and I made pickles. Yes, we made pickles. We also pickled some green beans and carrots as well.
I saw the carrots. That looked bomb.
And we did make a batch, so a couple jars, really, of Crybaby Craig's hot sauce pickles. So if you don't know who that is, you have not been here for very long.
Or you stopped listening before we talk about it.
Is one of our sponsors and a friend of ours, Craig Kaiser, a.k.a. Crybaby Craig himself, a.k.a.
Winnie the Bitch.
The tits. But he makes this awesome hot sauce. We'll tell you about it later. This would have been an awesome way to segue into that sponsor spot.
Yeah,
but...
that would have been good.
But yeah, so we got some garlic and habaneros, and we pickled them with pickles and some spices and stuff. And we also added Crybaby Craig's hot sauce to the pickle brine as well. And I am very interested to see how they turn out. We'll see.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Because I literally talked to him last night and told him I was sending him a jar. And if they suck, I'm going to be really upset.
I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, didn't really matter. Well, if you think that we're as funny as we do, and you like what we're doing here, head on over to buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. It's a great way to support the podcast on a monthly basis. There's different tiers that you can choose from, and it gets you all kinds of awesome things, from member-exclusive merch, behind the scenes, first-hand look at announcements and stuff like that, because we have more stuff in the works. We announced a new podcast that'll be launching in a couple of months last week, the Kobolds in the Basement podcast, which is a Dungeons & Dragons playthrough. But yeah, go check that out. Again, that's buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd.
we are working with a new company to help us with our new website. So we will have a new website coming soon.
Hmm.
We kind of didn't talk about this, and we should have. Sorry, that's
No,
my
that's good.
bad. Um, but look for that link and our new website coming soon. We will also tag the company that we are working with. I did not ask that person for permission to drop their name just yet. I
Yep.
will do that today, and maybe next week we will drop that and a link. So if you like our website and the way it's put together, you will be able to click that link and contact that person directly. And if you have any coding or website things that you need, you could reach out to them and they can help you out.
Yeah.
Probably not worded the best from somebody who doesn't do a lot with computers, but you know, you get the gist of it,
When
hopefully.
our new site drops, we'll for sure tag them as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So this week, we've both been watching Warrior, and there's a new episode again this week. Man, I fucking love this show.
Seriously, go watch this fucking. We say it, I mean, we've been saying it every week since this show came out. Go watch this damn show.
Yeah.
It's so good. If you like action, it's gory. There's action, there's nudity. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got everything you can ask for, really.
Yeah.
It's
It's
fantastic.
like cream of the crop programming right there. But yeah, this week's episode was rad. It wasn't as like action packed as a lot
No,
of.
we still remember we said that
You're
yesterday,
right.
but then when we talked about it, we were like, actually,
There's a
now that
lot
I
that
think about
fucking
it, there was
happened.
kind of a lot of action in that episode.
It
Yeah.
just
That was
wasn't like large scale like brawls and fights and stuff like that.
yeah.
But there was some really awesome fights, some debauchery,
Yeah.
shenanigans, and the what have yous. Um, great fucking show. I'm sad that season 3 is almost done because we haven't gotten an
I literally
official
looked at
green
it.
light.
I looked at it yesterday, and they are only 10 episode seasons.
Yeah.
So there's only 2 episodes left of season 3,
Yeah.
which is a huge bummer. Also, kind of surprising that we've gone through 8 weeks of watching that show already. Well, 7 weeks because they released, no,
Yeah,
six
because
weeks. They released the first 3 episodes,
I thought it
didn't
was
they?
just the first 2. Both could
Anyway.
be right.
Moving on. Go watch it.
The SAG and Writers Guild strike is still continuing, and I mean, fucking A studios, do the decent thing and pay the people that you need. Um, what is kind of cool, and even though I'm not the biggest fan of Dwayne The Rock plays the same character Johnson, he did donate $1 million of his own money into, the fund that has been set up to help
So
continuing
did
to pay bills for the strikers.
Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds also donated $1 million each
That's
to
awesome.
that same. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, just because the studios are saying that they're just going to wait it out until everyone ends up homeless and will
Yeah.
work for less than what they were being paid before. And the movie stars, the high rollers are like, no.
yeah.
I should have looked up what the fund is called so that I'll still look it up. It'll be in the show notes. If anyone
Yeah.
wants to donate to that, there will be a link in the show notes as well. But that still continues, and it just proves how greedy the CEOs tend to be.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know how hyped I am about this because we talked about this earlier. The first season was kind of weird. Not bad, but kind of weird. But I Am Groot season 2 is coming soon. If you watch the first season, some episodes are like, 30 seconds to a couple minutes long.
Yeah, they're TikToks with credits
Yeah.
that
It's a little
double
weird.
or triple the length of the episode.
And I'm unclear if it's going to be Baby Groot again or if we're going to get like the last Groot that we saw, which is just a fucking the Hulk in Groot form. Like,
I hope it's not that. Teenage Groot would be funny because it'd be like angsty,
yeah,
but my guess is it's going to be more just Baby Groot. I think that this
Yeah.
is more geared towards younger kids.
Yeah.
especially with the fact that they're 3 to 4 minute long shorts.
Hmm.
I mean, they're cute, they're adorable, but
Hmm.
they're kind of annoying to watch
Yeah.
because the amount of time that it takes to watch an episode, half of it is credits or more. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna let you take the next one too, just because I'm not as excited about it as you are, Jake.
The Exorcist. I heard that they were remaking this. And it was a trailer for Oppenheimer when we went together
Hmm.
last week. And what's cool about it is that it's not a reboot. It is a continuation of the first film.
Hmm.
And I mean the first film with like, is it Linda Blair? Yeah. Uh, yeah. And her mom is in it, which is crazy. And it's two teenagers this time that are, or preteens, tweens, if you will, uh, that are possessed at the same time. At least from I've only seen the trailer. Go look up the trailer, you'll see for yourself. This looks creepy and fun, and I love horror
Fun?
movies.
It looks
I'm not,
fucking terrifying.
yeah, because you're a fucking wuss. Um, I think it looks awesome. If and this here's this is a big flaw in our podcast is that we don't watch a ton of horror movies because someone is a giant wuss when it comes to scary movies.
I'm not gonna deny it. I'm
I think
not a
this movie
huge
looks awesome and
fan of
scary
scary
and
movies.
probably hopefully gross.
A
The
lot
first
of it
one was
was. Oh, sorry. Continue on
no,
what you're saying about this.
the first one wasn't necessarily like gory or anything, but it was gross. There's like vomit and pee and heads turning around and cool stuff like that. I don't know how this one's gonna be. The preview looks cool, but
Yeah,
we'll
like
see.
I don't know. I just
I'm hyped about it. The only
scary
way
movies
Chad
aren't
will
my
watch
jam.
these movies is if I like sit next to him and hold his hand, like the whole movie.
You didn't hold my hand during the last one, but you got mad at me because I was trying to make a joke out of as much as I could anytime I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, he was deflecting quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a little scared. I'm gonna talk, and I'm like, shut up. But
Like
yeah,
monster scary films, I can handle so much better. Some of them are still creepy, but most of those I can handle. It's like the paranormal and possession movies like this that freak me out. I
yeah. Someone at some point in your life just got inside of you
just
and
fucking
really,
I
really
wasn't
did
was never Catholic or Mormon.
it. What are you? I wasn't saying you were. I was just saying somebody got in there and messed you up. Whether it was your guts or your brains, I'm not sure, but they got up in there and messed it up.
uh
Uh, rape
in
by the church.
wow.
That's what it. I mean,
I
they're
know that's
bad
what it
people,
is,
yeah.
and it's fucking terrible. It just that came out just so just cut through. Ugh, woof.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
Ugh. Well, it's not really nerdy news, but it's fucking dumb, and we want to talk about it because it's so
Baffling.
dumb. In like MMA, UFC, boxing news, Jake Paul somehow beat Nate Diaz.
Impossible.
Yeah. Were they going on boxing rules alone? Because Nate
I
Diaz is kind of a little
They
bit more
were.
of
They
a
were gloved up.
grappler
They were
and-
gloved up. So I think they were. It was a boxing match. Not if it was MMA. Even it's. I don't want to. I'm gonna get. There's too many angry thoughts going through my head. The angry sharks are swimming.
in my brain.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't. You go. You talk. You talk. I'm getting pissed.
Yeah, it's just, it's so dumb. Like, the Paul brothers somehow are undefeated in their professional fighting careers. And it's like, no, there's no way. No way that Logan Paul beat Floyd Mayweather. There's No way. Didn't one of them fight fucking McGregor also in Win?
No, no. There's talk about it, and I
Uh huh.
think that's where they're like trying to build up to is like who's
Okay.
like top dog that they're gonna fight. Because Tommy Fury was one. Like he was a big, and they always like build it up like it's gonna be this like fight of the century. And like I think what I was telling you is what it is that we nobody likes there's nobody that's like, oh, these guys are the shit, man. I love these guys, you know?
Well, the same people that like the Paul brothers as professional fighters are the same people that paid for Andrew Tate's like how to be an alpha male
Right.
classes online.
Yeah. You
Like,
watch these fights because you want to watch one of these dudes get fucking floored. And it's just become very apparent and very obvious, two words that mean the same thing, uh,
synonyms.
that it's rigged. I mean, I have watched MMA fights that's without gloves. I have watched Nate Diaz get just rocked in the face, and it does not phase the dude. He is one of the scariest, most brutal like fighters out there. And you're gonna tell me that this YouTube kid just fucking with not cushy gloves, but with
They're,
boxing gloves on,
yeah.
like, come on. No, it's fake. They build up a bunch of hype about it. So I don't spend my money on it, but so that we people spend our money on it. And then they give you an upset because then it brings you in for the next one because you're like, okay, now that he beat Nate Diaz, he's gonna go fight maybe Conor McGregor. And you're like, Conor's definitely gonna knock this dude out, right?
Yeah.
Probably not because
Well, see,
it's
the
fake.
thing is, out of any of the big name MMA fighters, I think Conor McGregor would be probably the biggest name that would be like, fuck you. I'm not going down in the fourth so that you get a higher payout and then I get a higher payout. He's like, no, I'm going to fucking win.
Hopefully, I'm sick of this shit. When did boxing and MMA become WWE, just paid actors fucking making money? This
Yeah.
is so dumb. I'm so annoyed with
They're
it.
they're buying into their own odds where the Pauls are, have such a low probability of winning based on what everyone else can do
Yeah.
and other people's records that they're fighting so that when they win they get a much larger payout.
They're like the Corey Feldman of fighting because like people still buy tickets to go watch Corey Feldman at his concerts, but it's like mostly to like make fun of him
Oh,
and like
yeah.
you know what I
Even
mean?
though
Like
he was one of the first ones to kind of be like, "Hey, Harvey
abs
Weinstein's a piece of shit."
absolutely, and I feel bad for the dude.
Yeah,
He's
he
just
was
kind of lost his marbles a
ostracized.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Pauls are doing the same thing that Pete Rose did. Betting on themselves or, betting to throw fights and shit like that and profiting off of it. And Pete Rose was ostracized, but they're celebrated. It's doesn't make any fucking sense. Ugh.
Moving back to some nerd stuff. Sorry, that
Yes,
was just
thank you.
something I was heated about, and I was like, we have to talk about this because
I
I'm
didn't know
mad.
about the fight with Nate Diaz. I'm not
It was
entirely
literally
familiar with him.
last night.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like a big like thing, and of course it was. Went went 10 rounds. Nobody got knocked out, but
Oh, so one
by
by technical.
unanimous by unanimous decision, Jake Paul won. Of course he did.
TKOs, man.
Paid off, motherfuckers. You do the next one. Right, you know
Well,
what I mean.
we have some casting news for the MCU's Fantastic Four, which is pretty awesome. Because at one point in time, offers were sent out to Margot Robbie and Adam Driver to be Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm in reverse order. But you can guess who was cast to be who. But they turned down the offers. But it looks like we have gotten our Sue Storm. And it looks like it will be Vanessa Kirby, also known as the White Widow from the Mission drunk. Mission Impossible films, the couple of recent ones. I like it.
She's been around since Mission Impossible Fallout. That was one with Cavill.
Oh, so just the last one and then this
The
one.
last, yeah, and then this one, and
Okay.
I assume, presumably, the next one.
Yeah, I would.
Also,
assume.
two words that mean the same thing.
Ah, we're good. We're good.
Maybe I'm having a strunk because I am not doing that intentionally.
I like that casting. I mean, she's very attractive. She looks good with blonde hair. She's old enough to be like an adult, but still young enough to where they can.
I also
Keep
like
them
the
in
idea
the-
of not having. No offense to either Adam Driver or Margot Robbie, because I think that would have been great casting. But I like the idea of not having like superstar actors
Yeah,
as these characters.
like
Yeah,
Vanessa Kirby's been in some bigger projects.
yeah, and I'm a fan. I'm
Yeah,
actually a pretty big fan of hers. I think she's a good actress. I think she's very pretty, like you had said. I think she'll do a really good job as a Sue Storm.
yeah.
I'm
It's
excited about
just
that.
that she's an actor that her name alone doesn't draw fans to see the film.
Yeah,
And then also we know that Joseph Quinn, aka Eddie Munson, from Stranger Things, has been offered a role, sent an offer letter. Hasn't been confirmed whether it's been accepted or not. Speculation is that it's for Johnny Storm, but we don't know for sure. Not a huge fan. I mean, like, I like that role, but I like him as that casting just because the goofy, kind of cocky, out there guy. But we were talking off, and I was totally misunderstanding you about the whole age in relation to Spider-Man. So I get that as well. I don't know who else he would play.
I don't know either. Maybe he's Doctor Doom,
I I wouldn't be mad about that.
or maybe he is. I don't think he's old enough to play Reed Richards. Although there was at least rumored not that Matt Smith, after Adam Driver turned down the role, that Matt Smith was offered the role of Reed Richards.
I I love Matt Smith.
Yeah,
I would
Said-
love that.
paint some eyebrows on that guy. And
That's the only thing,
Yeah.
but it works for him.
so far, yeah.
But yeah, and then Ebon Moss, I think it's Bachrach, is how you pronounce his last name. He plays cousin.
Oh! I was like,
He plays cousin in The Bear. He
what
was.
you call me?
He also played Leibowitz
You're
in The
You're
Punisher.
an Alban Moskras. He was in. He has a role in
The Punisher.
no a movie I just saw. Fuck. With Jennifer Lawrence, the one that I saw with Nicole. I was telling you about the funny one.
Oh, what's it called? No
That's
Hard Feelings.
Was it?
No Hard Feelings.
Yes. Yeah, he's in there.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a huge role. He's not like a main character, but he's in there for a lot of the movie. And it's pretty funny.
I think I like
like
the idea
him.
of him being cast. There's rumors that he is either going to be Ben Grimm or Silver Surfer.
I thought David Diggs was gonna be Ben Grimm.
I don't know if that's official or if that was just a fan
None of
casting.
it. I don't
that-
think any of this is official, is it?
Vanessa
I don't
Kirby.
even-
Vanessa
I don't even
Kirby is
think. I don't even
confirmed.
think that's official. I don't. I think they're in like final talks, but I don't think anything is like set in stone yet.
Oh, I
for
thought
any
that
of these.
that was official. I know that Joseph Quinn has been offered a role. Just doesn't know if he's
But
accepted.
if that were the case, we would have our almost
If
our
Matt Smith,
entire yeah, Matt Smith, Vanessa Kirby, David Diggs, Joseph Quinn, and then potentially
the Silver Surfer,
whatever
of
that
Ebon-
bad word you
Ebon-
called me earlier, and
Ebon Moss Bachrach.
yeah, Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying that correctly either, so I'm sorry if I'm not.
That would be cool. I'd be up. I that cast. I would sail that.
And they're talking to some actors because it's been confirmed that Galactus is going to be like a main villain. Kind of weird that that's right off the bat instead of like Doctor Doom.
I think it would be a very not quite as in depth, but it would be a very like Thanos kind of role where it would be partially in this movie, but become a bigger because Galactus is not a one and done bad guy.
No, that's my
No.
thing.
So I
Is
think it would. I think if they introduce Galactus in this movie, it would be like because we also know that Fantastic Four is like the end of this phase of Marvel, right?
it's
Um,
kind of the middle, isn't it? Because then there's
yeah, but like the endish, right? So I think this would be like a very like Avengers Thanos like end credit scene, like, and then you don't actually get Thanos for like another like 5, 6 movies or however the fuck long it was. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
think we'll get Galactus, right? And be like, holy shit,
Well, the
that's dope.
rumor is that Galactus and Silver Surfer are going to be the main villains, kind of like Rise of the Silver Surfer was, where
Yeah, but I
Galactus
don't
was
think
referenced
Galactus.
throughout.
But I just don't think that Galactus will be the main like villain of that one movie. I think that Galactus is very much a Thanos level threat to
Oh,
the
definitely.
yeah. So I think like we may get Galactus in this movie and maybe there will be a fight, maybe there won't. I don't know with him.
Or they'll like
But
thwart whatever his plans were and then set him back without actually having to battle him.
yeah, we'll go back to the old ways.
But
That's DC in case
Yeah.
you didn't know. But uh
they
we'll use
are.
the old ways.
It sounds like from all the rumors and things like that that they're looking at like Latino actors to voice Galactus, which would be
One
awesome.
specifically, sorry.
Well,
One
that's like
specifically.
the number one. Yeah,
No.
there she
Well,
is.
that side.
She's just hanging out of the bed. Just her back legs are on the bed. Uh, One specifically, it was a fan casting forever ago, but now as they're getting more and more serious about castings and stuff like that, Antonio Banderas keeps popping up more and more to be the voice of Galactus, which would be sweet.
I would be all for that. I also love we got he's having like a little bit of a comeback the past couple of years.
Yeah,
And I'm all for that. I love Antonio Banderas.
I do
I
too.
know he battled some cancer, I think, and then came back after that. Um, so I love back in the day, Antonio Banderas ruled
Yeah,
the late 90s, early 2000s.
the
I
Mask
mean,
of Zorro. Mm,
both. I mean, yeah, the Mask of Zorro. There was two Zorro movies.
yeah,
Um,
wasn't it
13th Warrior. Um, right?
plus
Is
like
that the
voicing Puss in Boots.
Pussy? Oh yeah, that's been pretty frequent throughout. But yeah, yeah. I mean,
But then his comeback in
fucking
Uncharted.
yeah. And I was thinking, I was trying to think of what it was El Mariachi back in the first movie was El
Oh,
Mariachi, and then it was
Desperado, Once Upon a Time in
Desperado, Once Upon a
Mexico.
Time in Mexico. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
those movies were so good.
yeah. My dad showed me those movies.
So bloody and gory
Once
too.
upon a time. Did you ever watch El Mariachi? That was the first one, and it was in all Spanish
Yeah,
subtitles. Yeah, that was dope.
yeah,
Desperado was the first one that was not in subtitles, but
yeah.
cool movie.
Yeah, I love those.
Not where I was trying to go with that, but we love Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, I love that casting. Well, let's talk about our first
I was like,
sponsor.
where are we? Oh, God.
So our first sponsor is Raise Energy Drinks. You all know this. It's a great energy drink with 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 crash. If you don't like energy drinks, they've got other options from supplements, protein packed desserts, some plant-based options as well. There's a lot for everyone. Listen up, learn how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy. An incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
All right, we're going to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Before we get started, as always, spoiler alert, if you have not seen it, tune back in after you've watched it. We're happy to fill your ears with ooze.
Ooze. See, it's nice.
Anyways, that's enough time. I mean, I loved it.
It was so good.
Yeah. It was funny. It was really funny. It was like kid funny, but it was still really funny.
I wouldn't say kid funny. I would say like all ages, like appropriate funny.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. There's a lot of the funny parts you've already seen probably in the trailer for it, but there's more. It was good. Jackie Chan as Master Splinter was pretty cool. I love Jackie Chan.
It's like
so
the perfect choice.
Yeah, and then like he did all of his own stunts, and
but even the way that they animated like how Master Splinter like fought was so reminiscent of old Jackie Chan films.
Yeah, just like funny and like I don't know how to put like
comical humor in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, like things are just kind of working out for him, even though like it's not.
Yeah.
Necessarily what he intended to do.
Yeah. Oh man. Also, the animation was really cool. I know that we kind of mentioned that like it felt from the trailer that it was really riding the coattails of like the Spider-Verse films.
I still think it was. It just wasn't
to some degree, but it felt a lot more like sketches that were animated instead of like comic books. Like not everything
like
had very clean
almost
lines.
Like claymation to me.
Yeah, that's a great way to. I didn't put that together, but I definitely agree to that.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun. I love the artsy style of it. The voice cast is amazing. Even the I don't know any of their names specifically, like from hearing it. I'm sure they've been in some sort of something at some point. But these kids are just kids, which is awesome. It's the first time in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle adaptation that they're actually kids voicing or portraying the turtles, and
also it's probably
I thought that was cool.
The youngest portrayal of the turtles that we've ever seen. Like they're old enough to basically be freshmen in high school.
Yeah,
like they're not like 19.
Yeah, they're like little. Yeah, they're little like, teenagers.
Like would still need to be dropped off at the mall for their date because they can't get their driver's license or even their permits yet. Really.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the animation was great. You pointed this out to me just from seeing like behind the scenes, but you really pick up on it in the movie about how they brought in all 4 of
Oh yeah.
the kids to do their voice work in the same room.
Rather
Would
than doing like in a lot of animated movies, they will have them come in individually, listen to the other characters' voices for the movie, and then record their voices into that.
yeah,
So they brought all four of these kids in and made them all record at the same time. So like during the movie, when they're like talking over each other and like arguing and stuff like that, that's like them reacting off of each other in like the same room. I think
yeah,
that was really cool and really smart.
I do
Uh,
too. That
yeah,
it brought such a level of like authenticity to the fact that they are like
kids.
kids
Yeah,
instead of
that's
just
awesome.
sounding young, but everything's like clean and
Mm,
like even there's even parts when they're talking and like they're almost like stuttering over each other. Yeah, just see her just and then she stops. Oh, oh, she got the tail. She got her tail. Now what?
fucking dork.
Wipes her butt on the floor.
No.
Also, I mean, we loved it as adults, but the
I grew up
music,
on that shit.
well, but the music in this was
Oh
awesome.
yeah,
But
yeah.
some of the song choices definitely were not family friendly songs.
Oh baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Yeah.
We're
I
not
literally
talking
was
about
like
sushi.
I literally like leaned over to Nicole and I was like, "That's terrible." And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "I mean, he's talking about fucking a girl without a condom on."
Yeah.
It's
The song is about raw dogging.
yeah, fantastic. Like the soundtrack was amazing for people that are like our age.
Well, and I mean, younger kids aren't going to get those references, but the soundtrack was great.
Yeah.
Either way. Plus, we did get a throwback to Vanilla Ice's Go Ninja Go.
Mm-hmm.
Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go. For those of you that don't know what that is, or don't know who Vanilla Ice is, he is not your local car salesman down in Miami. Well, he might be now, but
I was like, he might be these days.
it's funny because I think he owns several car dealerships in Miami. Uh,
That's funny.
but he was a big star in the late 90s, Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah.
But was in
Bum, 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 bum.
the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action. Did you just bark at her?
They went, hey!
Oh, sounded like you went. "Whew."
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I'm recording. Get out of here.
But there were a couple of things I one of them I didn't notice in the movie. It might have been when I got up to go to the bathroom. And then the other thing, once you pointed it out, I was like, yeah, that is really dumb. There's
The
just a couple
names?
of like qualms. Yeah. If you
I
want to.
thought that was annoying. Yeah. They don't so the if you don't know this, the Ninja Turtles names are named after famous painters.
Yeah.
Michelangelo, Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello. Um, and in the movie, they kind of just like poke because they don't call each other by their like full names. They call it Donnie, Raph, Mikey,
Leo. Yeah.
and so they like kind of start like talking about like, well, your name's Donnie. What if it's Donatello? And they like make fun of it, but they don't actually go into why their names are the way that they are. And I thought that was kind of annoying because that was always something I thought was really cool that their names were after
Yeah.
famous painters. But um, whatever.
Yeah. And then what was the other one? Because
You go ahead. I know I'm the one
oh,
who brought it up, but go ahead.
yeah, Bebop and Rocksteady, they're like famously villains in like the Turtles comics and lore and everything like that. And they jumped ship to be good guys pretty quickly in this movie, which was, I mean, you had mentioned to me that you were like, well, if that happened eventually, that wouldn't be the worst idea. But kind of lame that it happened in the first movie, because we know
Yeah.
that this is being picked up as a TV show moving forward. And then, it's going to continue on. They might have more movies that pick up, in between the animated seasons and stuff like that. It is what it is, but
It was dumb.
maybe they'll switch sides again. They'll just waffle their way through the storylines.
Yeah, through the drain pipe of the shower, Uh,
So we all shit in the shower, right? I'm just kidding. I don't, by the way. That's disgusting. It's from a viral video.
The voice cast in this movie is fantastic and very wide. From Paul Rudd, Maya Rudolph,
John Cena.
John Cena. There's at one point we've been very big advocates of the show What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
If any of you guys are watching that, you know what we're talking about. If you're not watching that, you are missing out. It's very funny. But Natasha
Demetrio?
yeah, is in this, and she has a very recognizable voice. And during the movie, I was like, "Is that Nadja?" And you were like, "Yep, that's totally her." And yeah, it was
And she plays a bat.
and she plays a bat, which is super funny. Kristen Wiig, Rose Byrne, who else? Ice Cube,
Obviously,
Post
Seth
Malone.
Rogen. Yeah, Post Malone.
Seth Rogen. I think Seth Rogen is either Bebop or Rocksteady, and then the other one is the other. John Cena is the other one.
Yeah, who is Bebop, the Warthog?
I think.
Yeah, because Rocksteady makes sense for the Rhino.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the Warthog, Bebop, carries the boombox.
Yeah. The voice cast was awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously, we said Jackie Chan. We should really give credit to these kids.
Here, I'll look it up. And I thought that I had seen that Kristen Wiig was in it, and that's what I was telling you. She's not credited.
Yeah, but in the trailer for it, the first trailer for it, when they show all the people that are voiced, she is credited there.
So she must be the non-verbal
Something. I always say his name wrong. Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito is in it. That's another person I wouldn't mind being the voice of Galactus, because if they're wanting he is a Latino actor with a dark, menacing voice.
I also think he could do a pretty cool Doctor Doom
Yeah.
because of the same characteristics.
Oh.
Superfly. I wonder who's gonna play. There is a big name drop at the end, which is Shredder, but I wonder who's gonna voice Shredder.
Yeah, I don't know, because it doesn't have any voice in. It's a mid-credit scene, for those that are wondering. But the kids, Donatello is voiced by Micah Abbey. Michelangelo is Shaman Brown Jr. Leonardo is Nicholas Cantu, and Brady Noon is Raphael.
You guys killed it.
And also, Ao, I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
Oh, yeah.
Edibiri voices April O'Neil. Some people
would
will
know her
recognize her from The Bear.
Sid.
Yeah, that plays Sid, yeah.
Meg. Meg. I do like the actress. I hate her character in The Bear, but that's for another time.
Yeah. Her character is not meant to be liked.
Yeah. I don't think so. Yeah, that's an opinion. I know I said that earlier, but I don't. That's my opinion. Is that her character is supposed to be annoying, but
yeah,
I could be very wrong.
But like we said, there is a mid-credit scene. they tease at Shredder because basically they failed at getting the ooze.
The
The company
ooze.
fails at getting the ooze back because they want to use it to create mutant soldiers.
They try to take the ooze out of the tortoises. Yo, just some little cute tortoises out here.
Yeah.
And they're turtles. It's so funny because Superfly, voiced by Ice Cube, keeps calling them tortoises, and it's hilarious.
But they have like flat feet and not flippers, so maybe they are tortoises.
They're supposed to be box turtles,
Mm. I
but
don't know what that
yeah,
really
it's funny.
means in the terms of turtle versus tortoise. Well,
Turtle
I know the difference between turtles and tortoises based on.
Box turtles are the little we have them here in Minnesota that where they have the yellow bellies, but there's like usually a little bit of red like on
Oh,
their
and then
bellies.
on the necks, there's usually some yellow and
Yeah.
red coloring.
hmm
Oh, okay.
That's what they're supposed to be.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Um, but anyways, yeah, he keeps calling them tortoises, and it's super funny. He's like, "You guys are just some cute little tortoises."
I just love that they keep making the joke for like the first half of the film about like why they should avoid the human, why Splinter's telling them to avoid the humans because they'll get caught. Humans won't accept
They'll
them.
get
They'll
milked.
get milked, and they're like, we don't even have nipples. How does that work? And then later they get caught and are hooked up to machines that's called the
Hey.
milker.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Uh, your dog's just
And
going crazy.
because they're like taking their blood out of them, and they're like, "Oh, they're milking us." It's super funny. Um,
Go.
Pause for 1 second. Tell them
Yeah.
that joke, you know. I
Okay.
think Nicole's home and Jubilee's freaking out.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, I mean this movie is great. Go go check it out if you haven't. We didn't want to spill too many details, or anything like that. So definitely check out the movie. It's worth the time. It is a little bit shorter than I expected it to be. I expected, like a 2 hour long movie. Um, and it not quite 2 hours long. I think it's like an hour and 45 minutes. But the only bummer with that is that it just went by very fast. It's an hour and 40 minutes. It just went by really fast. I could watch so much more of it. Um, but yeah, since Jake had to step away for just a second, I'll just go ahead and tell you about our second sponsor, which is Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Listen up, and we'll tell you more about it.
okay, baby Craigs, we love you.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. Okay, friends, now we are going to talk about, unfortunately, the finale of Henry Cavill's career as Geralt of Riviera for season 3 of The Witcher. And for
Which-
Henry Cavill forever. But, like, good for him based on how this
Yeah.
season went.
Yeah, it was like this will probably be the rise of his career is stopping that show.
I mean,
Or-
it shows how much he cares about, like, nerd culture and staying true to source material.
I mean, we
'Cause-
got Warhammer coming out, and I know that the producers of that show have been like consulting with Henry Cavill.
He is a producer on the show.
Yeah, just like, hey, like let's get this right. As where in The Witcher, he's like, this isn't right, and they're like, hey, shut up, man. You're just here to act.
Yeah.
And he's like, Okay, bet. I'm
Uh,
gonna be Superman again.
I bet that.
Ah,
Oh, I bet that the same people that told Henry Cavill to stop trying to give them direction on how to make the show better are the same people that would say shut up and dribble. You know,
fair. Yeah.
uh, if you
Or
don't
like
get that
Gesundheit.
reference, you haven't been paying attention for a while. Yeah, or that. That's going to be a good inside joke for us moving forward. No one's going to get it. Literally, our one note for this finale was originally just said meh, and then I changed it to less than meh. This was. It wasn't even a good send off for Henry Cavill, and if they're gonna recast
And
him,
they
they have to
promised
make
it.
a
And
way.
promised, they promised that Henry Cavill's send off in this show was not only going to be heroic, but it was going to make sense. And it was neither of those fucking things. It was
Yeah,
dumb and lame. And the only good thing out of this is that Henry Cavill does not have to play into this bullshit anymore. We love
yeah.
you, Henry.
A lot.
Put him and Johnny Depp in a movie together, for Christ's sake.
Mm.
Just two of Hollywood's actors that just both got fucked.
In different ways, but yes.
Yeah.
And then just to make you feel better, bring in Keanu Reeves, because like what a golden star, you know.
Yeah.
John Wick 5. Okay, I'm calling the casting now. But no, it was just the biggest fight of the season and the most action and with the most on the line should not be episode 6. It shouldn't. Granted, there was only 8 episodes, but come on. Because then episode 7 was all about Henry Cavill laying on a bed of moss and Siri walking through the desert talking to unicorns. And then Henry Cavill just kind of like hobbles and is like, I'm going to go get her. And then that's it.
I was losing my shit in the last episode. I literally, not actually, but I was like writhing in fucking cringe every time that fucking dumb bitch was like, you'd be dead now. You'd be dead now. Every time, you know what I'm talking about? The fucking chick that's like trying to train him to like be able to fight again. And then
Oh,
she goes,
yeah.
and then she's like, you'd be dead now. She says it like 10 times in the fucking episode.
Yeah.
And every time it was just like a stab in my chest of cringe. And I was like, one of my eyes was like twitching, like a vein popped out of my forehead. And I was like, Jesus Christ, shut this bitch up. Not because it was a female, just because it annoyed me.
It's just very bad writing
Yeah.
across the
It's
board.
so bad.
It was not enjoyable.
No.
And it sucks because I loved the first season. The second season started to very like feel not.
For season and a half. They're like a 50-50. If you like scored it out through all 3 seasons, it's like a 50-50. Because the first season and a half, the
Yeah,
show
that's just not
good.
good.
Second, but 50% is failing last time I checked. So you didn't do good.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then what was?
I've already said it to you.
Oh.
I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but I will not participate in season 4. Not just because of the exit of Henry Cavill, but because of how terrible this past season was. I refuse to watch any further seasons.
I want to watch the first episode to see how they explain the difference in appearance. And then I might give it a second episode, but I'm not planning on watching all of it. In the woman character that you're talking about, the one that's there to train him, is it hurts because that's I don't know
Is
how to
that her
pronounce it.
name? Oh, that would be
It's
fantastic.
Meng Zhang.
We're just
Um,
gonna stick with it hurts.
but she plays Zhai Ling in Shang-Chi, his sister.
Son of a bitch.
So like we
Okay.
know that she's
She
a
got
badass,
she
good
got
actress.
she got some cool points back. She got a couple cool points back.
That's what I'm saying. Is like that's
I
how
still wanted
bad
Henry
this
Cavill to fucking just punch her
writing
in the throat.
was.
Yeah.
Like you took an actor that is talented and can play such a badass and made her terrible
Super
to watch.
unlikable. Yeah.
And not even unlikable because like she's sabotaging or just bad fucking writing.
Seriously, 60% of her fucking dialogue in the episode was, "You'd be dead now." I was just like, okay. Can you stop saying that? You'd be dead. Oh, okay.
So
You said it again.
So bad.
And then even when she joins him at the end in his fight, like she shoots an arrow to kill the dude that was behind him that was about to like hit him, and I'm like, don't fucking say it. And then Henry Cavill says it. He goes, I know, I'd be dead now. And I was like, you bitch.
Yeah, it just
Calling Henry Cavill a bitch, not the girl.
yeah.
Not Henry. I love you, Henry Cavill, but calling Geralt a bitch. It was just really
It
bad.
was just terrible writing. Like, fuck. Way to destroy an awesome opportunity to
Something that
bring
everybody
to
was
the-
super stoked about too. Like,
I
I
it's
was
a
really
huge
excited
fan
going into
base.
season 3.
And not even that, just like the entire series. Like, you start off really strong, give a lot of hope to
I think
the
I
high fantasy like book readers and the gamers. And then
I
you
think I
shit
said
it.
this last week, and if not, maybe I just said it to you, but I feel like it was intentionally done. I feel like in order to get people hyped about changing a character, changing the staple character in the show, that the writers wrote a very unlikable season so that they could try to reset it in the same universe because it's not rebooting, they're continuing. So I think
Yeah.
they tried to make it bad so that when they bring in the new character, and then I think they're gonna write. I think their plan is to write a really good season next season.
Yeah, but that
like they
doesn't
had
make
been
any
doing.
fucking sense.
I know. I'm just saying. Like that's just what I feel like they did. I think they were just trying to fuck Henry Cavill.
They probably did that intentionally, like you said. I mean, that
Yeah.
makes sense because this season was so not in line, especially with the first season and most of the second season. You know, it was so off par. But who in their right mind would be like, I know, let's tank this season to get people really excited for the next season?
Probably the kind of people that would make your staple character not want to work with you anymore.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. That's just such dumb logic. But I don't doubt that that's what happened.
Yeah. I've already seen so many people that are just like, without Henry Cavill, I'm not watching this. Like, I think even if it's good, here's what I think. Here's what I actually predict is going to happen: is you're going to watch those first 2 episodes, and because I know you, I love you, I do, but I know you, and
Oh,
you're
I
gonna be
can't
like,
stop watching a season.
You're going to be like, it was actually pretty good, and I'm going to be like, no, it was. Because I think they are going to write it. I think they're going to write the next season. I think they're going to write it really good with their new character, and then people are going to do what you're going to do, and then you're going to be like, holy shit, this is actually really good.
And then the rest of the season's going to be shit.
And then that's how they're going to like rope people back into it.
Or it's going to be just me personally, and we'll get into this with one of my honorable mentions, actually, is that you start watching it, and you're like, eh?
Yeah.
But because of just who I am, I'm like, I can't just like not finish the season, but I can like sit on my phone for the second half of it. you know, uh,
Yeah.
it's just
I really
it's so
yeah.
disappointing. The I loved the first season so much. The second season was still good. It wasn't as good as the first season because
I
it.
liked season 2.
I did
I didn't
too.
I didn't
It
if
just
season
lost
2
some
had
of
had
the
me coming back for more.
yeah.
I showed up for season 3. You know what I mean? If season 2 was anything like this season, wouldn't have watched season 3. I wouldn't. So
Yeah, that's
season
fair.
2 in my book was good. This, even if best way to explain it. Even if Henry Cavill was coming back for season 4 after this season, I wouldn't watch it. And and
Oh,
any of our listeners know, I love Henry Cavill
yeah.
in everything I've ever seen him in. Love him.
One of your
I
favorite
would,
movies is like one of his first acting gigs ever.
yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, it's tied to another actor who
That is just the
but
worst person ever.
we're just not gonna get into that.
We're not going to
But
touch it. Yeah.
even if Henry Cavill was coming back for season 4, I would not watch season 4
Ooh,
after this season.
100%. If he was coming back for season 4 after how season 3 ended, I also would not watch it. I just want to see how they're going to explain it in season 4, and then I'll give it a second episode. And if it still sucks, I'm going to try and
Spoiler alert. It's still gonna suck.
yeah, it's not going to be great, Cotton. And they don't even like pumpkins.
I don't have anything against Liam Hemsworth.
I don't either.
He's just not a strong actor.
Yeah,
And I guess I could, even though I love Thor, I love Chris Hemsworth, Chris
Crimsworth.
Hemsworth. I love him too. Uh, Also, not a strong actor. Very beautiful person, and
Hmm.
he's a good person. Like outside of acting, he's a good person. Uh, he's very nice to look at. I get that. And on-screen Thor, he plays it perfectly, and in other action movies and blah blah blah. But it's not somebody that if you were gonna make like I'm trying to think of like a tear-jerker kind of a movie where you're like, holy shit, that performance was
Yeah.
the best performance. Like The Judge, Robert Downey Jr.
Hmm.
That movie is one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. To replace Robert Downey Jr. with Chris Hemsworth, would it
Diff-
be as good of a movie?
No.
No.
Even though it was a little bit more of a dramatic role, I really liked Crimsworth, as you started to say earlier, in The Heart of the Sea.
It was a good movie.
I thought that was a fantastic movie, and I thought he acted really well in that.
Yeah. You're right.
He's just been very typecast for a lot of stuff
Fair enough.
because he is athletic, muscular, and very pretty. It just happens.
Skips leg day from time to time as picture as well. But, so do I.
Confirm.
So I skip full body day. So
Yeah, I've been skipping leg day for like 10 years. Don't worry about it. The only reason my legs are this big is because I like pizza.
anyways. Wow, we went off the rails there.
Oh, that is fine. Do you have any final words for this season of The Witcher?
I think we said more than we intended to say.
Yeah, we did. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to, people. We told you the highlights and then just the general of it. Not even lowlights, because the lowlights were the general consensus, in at least in my opinion. But yeah, let's go ahead and close out this episode. I'm not clapping again. You just come in from that once it's no longer spouting out of your nose.
I was trying to like obnoxiously like sip it, and then you made me laugh. Hold on. But before we do, Well, before we do, we have our honorable mentions. Chad, what do you have?
So,
That's great, Chad.
you're
No,
such a dick. So, at your suggestion, and with the new season coming out here soon, I did start watching Castlevania on Netflix, and I love it because I did play the was that Super Nintendo,
Yes.
NES, SNES game back in
I
the
think they
day.
had it back even on just regular Nintendo, like way back. It's an old
Yeah,
game,
which would have just been NES.
Nintendo.
Well, yeah, like the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES. Ah, sorry.
We called it Nintendo.
Yeah, as we should, instead of sounding pretentious like I just did. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
But I started watching that, and then I noticed how familiar it was, so I actually looked it up. The entire game, and then therefore the anime is based off of edition 2 of Dungeons and Dragons, which is pretty cool. And I know how much you hate me talking about D&D.
I do not. No, I mean it's an extension of our podcast now. I
Yeah,
even have a character in that extension.
I know, but like sometimes you're like, can you talk about something different? Because
I just no,
it's
you
just
just
consumed me.
when you first started playing, it was the only thing you talked about. I'm not a dick about it.
Sometimes you
I
are.
I've I'm a dick about a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general, I'm not a dick about it. I think it's cool. I'm excited to play. It is an extension of our podcast now. Um, but for that short while that you had just started, everything that came out of your mouth was
It,
Dungeons and Dragons, and I
it
was
wasn't
like,
even
dude,
when I first started,
shut
because I've been playing it
up.
for like 3 years now. But I will admit that within the past like 6 months to a year, it's kind of consumed me.
Yeah, I'm this way with one of my best friends. We will not say his name. All the dude talks about is cars. He lives, breathes, shits, eats cars. That's I love him to death, but
Yeah.
that's his personality. And every conversation
Somehow
that
gets back to
I
that topic.
whether I'm a part of it or I'm overhearing it of that person talking to someone else, it's cars. And I literally just go, oh my God.
We've had
Like,
this conversation
dude.
about this. I just wanted to put you on blast.
Ah,
Because you
yeah.
told me to
So,
watch Castlevania, and I got
yeah.
hooked, and I was like, "This feels familiar." So I looked it up and like started looking into it, and then I texted you, and I was like, "Just so you know, it's D&D," and then radio silence for like a full day. Like you didn't text me, you didn't send me anything on Instagram for like 16 hours, and I was like, "I'm sorry." It was just really funny to me. But the show is fantastic. You don't have to like D&D to enjoy this. It's just
No.
a great show. And if you played the game back in the day, like the video game for Castlevania, it brings back a lot of nostalgia as well. It's quite true to it. The other thing that I have is I started watching it because I was a little bit buzzed. And I was sad about Titans being canceled and just was hoping that maybe something DC and good could come from it. I started watching Gotham Knights because I saw that it was on HBO Max, or just Max, sorry, because it's a good boy. It's never not going to be funny to me. I started watching it also because I really enjoyed the game, Gotham Knights. And it's the same, but so much worse. Like, it's still about Batman is dead. And his bat family is trying to figure out what happened, and it's all because of the Court of Owls. Only there's no Dick Grayson, no Tim Drake, no Jason Todd, no Barbara Gordon, no Alfred. Alfred died forever ago, so there's a new valet. No, none of those Robins are there. They made up a completely original character just for the show. His name is Turner Hayes. He looks like a teenage version of the guy that played the dad in Twilight. Not the vampire dad, not
Yeah. There's gets his head ripped off in the
the
Vision.
final battle that never happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Don't
looks
get
like
me
a
started
young.
on Twilight.
No, I won't. He looks like a teenage version of that actor.
Nice.
They do have.
That's weird because that actor looked like a teenage version of that actor.
This one is actually like only 20 years old, playing like 17-year-old, so it's not that bad. But there is a Carrie Kelly, who from like the
Female
Dark Knight,
Robin.
yeah, from Dark Knight Returns and stuff like that, and kind of her origin story is still very much the same. You know, the mutant gang is attacking whatever, and then there's other people that they're not actually part of the Bat family. One of them is like the Joker's bastard daughter, and a couple others that are
Sink
all
or sail
part
the show, though.
just sink it. I was buzzed when I started watching it, and then the only thing that I think is cool about the show is that it's the first time in live action that the Court of Owls have been referenced, let alone dove into.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much like the Gotham Knights game, where that's kind of like the overarching theme. But it's just done worse than the video game. But I was buzzed when I started watching it. I got to like episode 5, and there's only 13 episodes, and then the show was canceled because James Gunn made the right choice there. But so I'm just gonna finish it. I'm on like episode 9 now.
Nice.
And Harvey Dent is still a thing, but he's not actually Two-Face. And
Yet. Oh, but he won't get there, I guess, because it got canceled.
Well, see, they're already hinting at it, but it's not like he's just corrupt and then gets burned.
Isn't it Cass?
Yeah, it's Misha Collins from Supernatural.
From Supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dumb.
And the Two-Face.
Is it a CW show?
It is a CW show.
That makes sense. Okay.
But
Is Jensen Ackles in it?
not yet, but I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, Two-Face is literally just a dude that, like, when he's in control, he's a good person, but he has a split personality that takes over, and it's like
Dumb.
yeah.
Dumb. That's so dumb.
And Two-Face hasn't appeared, but Harvey Dent is there. And sorry, everyone, I'm just ruining the show because you don't need to watch it. This is already post, like,
I'm not gonna watch it.
Cobblepot being mayor and everything. Like, this is like Dark Knight Returns era.
But like Harvey Dent wouldn't be there then.
Exactly. And also, he plays like a 45-year-old dude. Like, what, you mean that he's been like this prominent district attorney for 25 years? Like,
Yeah, and after the death of Batman, he wouldn't have. He was Two-Face before Batman died. That doesn't make sense. What a dumb show.
Yep.
I'm glad I didn't watch it.
And don't.
I'm not going to.
I know. What about you? Sorry, I rampaged that. Tell me about your honorable mentions.
I was hooked though. I was listening. I was like,
It was just so frustrating.
yeah. I think I would.
Game was awesome. The animated episodes and stuff are
I think
awesome.
my vein. I have like a vein in like. I don't think you can't see it because I'm not muscular, but I have a vein in my like head that just like throbs when I'm super pissed off, and I think watching that show would make that vein do stuff. Anyways,
Go ahead.
Mine was Nicole had never seen Interstellar. I thought that was a tragedy, so we watched that.
So good.
We also watched Shutter Island last night, which was a lot of fun. I haven't watched that in a while. Um, that's a
Neither
good
have I.
movie. Uh, but for TV shows, we finished two shows. One is called The Crowded Room. It's with Tom Holland and hold on, what's her name? Oh, not Amanda Bynes. Amanda Seyfried. Amanda
Oh, he
Seyfried
plays his lawyer,
and
right?
Emmy Rossum. You would know from Shameless.
Or
Uh,
the Phantom of the Opera with Gerard Butler.
it's a really, really good show. It's really sad. So I won't ruin anything. No spoiler alerts. It's really good. Watch it. There is some controversy because one of the leave it alone. There's some controversy because Tom Holland's character gets has a gay sex scene, and people are like, "Not my Spider-Man!" Like literally, and I mean literally, a bunch of angry Republicans took to Twitter with the hashtag "Not my Spider-Man," tagging Tom Hum
I'm
Hum
Talon.
Holland,
Wow, that's gonna be
Tom
my
Holland
DJ name.
in this and saying "Not my Spider-Man." Also forgetting that Tobey Maguire played a gay dude in Wonder Boys with Robert Downey Jr. as his gay lover.
Wasn't that
Also
before Spider-Man?
way before, and also Andrew Garfield. I forget the name of the movie. Also played a gay guy in a movie, and so all of your Spider-Mans are not your Spider-Mans apparently.
And
You
also
snowflake piece of shit.
Tick Tick Boom. I mean, not that who Andrew Garfield played was gay, but he was definitely like a huge ally and wrote Rent about all of his friends that are gay getting AIDS because what's that? Trickle down economics doesn't work. I mean, Reagan was a piece of shit.
Uh, Also, like, I don't know if you knew this or not, but like, he didn't actually have sex with that guy. It's called acting, but you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's weird.
It was a really, really good show. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to give anything away. There's some secrets in there. It's really fun. But
Yeah, it's
also
on my
kind of
list.
sad and a thriller and whatever. I'll leave it at that. The other TV show we watched was Hijack. That is on
Is that
Apple TV.
also Apple? Yeah.
Yep, and that is with Idris Elba, where a plane gets hijacked. Ha. Get it?
What?
But the cool thing
Spoiler
about
alert.
the cool thing about the show is that there's only 7 episodes, and each episode is 1 hour of the hijack. It's a 7-hour flight, so each hour in the show is 1 hour of that flight. So it's kind of like in real time, which I think
That's
is pretty
cool.
cool.
And it sounds like they did it better than what 24 did because
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
yeah,
I remember you saying that same thing.
because that was like
Yeah.
the premise
We have a
of
lot of buzz
24.
conversations that I just don't remember sometimes.
And
But
not
yeah,
all
no, we
not
totally
all
talked
of them
about
are buzz. Just like we will talk like on a Tuesday and then record on a Sunday, and
that.
we
Yeah.
both have terrible short-term memories.
But yeah, it is in real time, and I mean it's kind of hard for them to screw that up, like you were saying in the show 24, like they would be in one city and then be in another city like minutes later. But the whole show, or not the entire show, because there's stuff happening on the ground that plays into what's happening on the plane, but the whole show is on the plane, so the actors can't be in a different
Yeah,
city.
it
You know what I
doesn't
mean? Like,
it
yeah,
doesn't take place, you know, where they're taking multiple flights or anything like that. That sound you were telling me
it's really
about
cool.
that. I was gonna start watching that, but when I started watching Gotham Knights, I was already buzzed. So I was like, I can't start this show because I'm gonna get hooked. I know it,
Mhm.
and two, I know I need to pay attention.
Yeah. It's fun. It's really fun. I love Idris Elba, not as much as my girlfriend, and we love him for different reasons. But uh,
You because you think he's hot and sexy.
yeah, and she
Her
just thinks
because
he's a
she's
good
like he's a
actor.
great
Yeah,
actor. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Uh, That's funny. Uh,
I know. I have a sticker to prove it.
that's all I really have for honorable mentions. So let's go ahead and close this episode out.
All right. Well, if any of our listeners manage to suffer through our hilarious rants,
I
uh,
mean,
I
God
mean,
damn it, we're funny.
we're funny, damn it.
We're so damn funny.
It's true. We really are. But if you like what we're doing and you want to support us, we mentioned it earlier, but the best way to do that is to go to buymeacoffee.com and become a subscriber there. It gives you behind the scenes, first looks, early announcements, exclusive merch, and just so much direct lines of communication with Jake and myself. It's a great way to support the show. Now, if you don't want to give us your money there, I mean, that's kind of lame, but
You can just
we get
give
it.
us your money.
Yeah, you can just do that too.
You
But
don't have to buy stuff. You can just
better
give
than
it to
doing
us.
that, though, because we like to give it back, is
I like money. I want more of it. If you give it to us, we would have it. Sold?
okay. And that's the end. No. If you don't want to do any sort of monthly subscription, but you do want to support the show, we recommend that the next best thing is going to our web store over at allthingsnerdpodcast.com and picking up some merch. You know, it's a one-time purchase. You know, you get something out of it. We get something out of it. You know, it's mutual. It's great. And we would love that. And, you know, if you don't want to exchange money for goods with us and completely ignore capitalistic society, which we don't blame you for that, but I mean, we would still like the money. Just like, share, and subscribe. You know,
The
we're
biggest thing, I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing to take apart of it is that we don't pocket a dime, not one red cent. Every
but sometimes a
penny,
copper one. I'm
any
just kidding.
penny, dollar, whatever made that we get from you guys or you friends it goes right back into the podcast so that we can give you better content.
Yeah.
We have some ideas coming up. We have some really big stuff coming up, but we also have some cool things that we want to do to give back to you guys in a really cool way. We just talked about it over the past couple days, and I think it'll be really fun, interactive. Also gives you guys a chance to get something out of this. Even if you don't want to donate money, you would still get something just for spreading our name.
Yeah, which is awesome. And it's not just Jake and I that are a part of this operation. There are other people that basically donate. Well, they do donate their
Their time and their energy, yeah.
to this endeavor. So, you know, they would get paid before we would. So if we start making enough money to not just put back into the podcast, but to quote unquote profit, it's going to go to other people long before it comes to us.
Mhm.
You know, we're as individuals not hurting. You know, this is just something that we love to do, but there's other people involved, and we would love to give to them as well. So give us your money, okay? Love you. And Jake,
Oh,
would
yes.
would you be willing to say that this has been the All Things Nerd podcast?
Sure. This has been the All Podcast Nerd Things.
Cool.
Cheers, Tink.